Welcome back to another episode of Player Profile. I'm April Marie Aguilar. Joining me today is FC Dallas's Sam Sarver. Thanks so much for the time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
But let's get right into it. North Texas SC, they posted a photo of you on July 24th on Instagram with the caption that read, "He gave everything to this club, and now he's earned his place at the top." After it had been announced with your promotion to the first team, what was that moment like for you?
It was pretty cool. Obviously, it's a lifelong dream that I've dreamed of since I was a kid. You know, I always wanted to play in the MLS. And it's kind of a full circle moment because when I was in the academy with Columbus Crew, I played on this exact field in GA Cup. So to be with the first team now for the home team here is pretty cool. And obviously getting a first team contract was one of my main goals this season, but now it's time to climb the ladder for other ones.
Wow, I can only imagine what's yet to come for you. But in your second match with FC Dallas, you earned the penalty that helped seal the win. And then just 24 hours prior to that, you scored 4 goals for North Texas SC. Take me just through the whirlwind of that weekend.
Yeah, it was quite a chaotic 24 hours or 28 hours, whatever they marketed it as. But obviously we went into the SKC game. They've been struggling a little bit this year, but you treat each team with the same amount of respect because on any given day in any league, any team can beat anyone. And, my team showed up, and then my teammates just got me in good spots, and the ball was bouncing my way that night.
And even just the energy and the passion that you showcased during that match, it's quickly made you a fan favorite. How important is that fan support? We were just talking about you giving away your jerseys to the fans.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I'm a firm believer in the 12th man. I love fans. I think any athlete would want to play in a stadium full of fans compared to not to. And especially when the fans get involved, and I think that comes from my college background because we have some of the best student sections in the country, and they would always get fired up if you got them going. And I wear my heart on my sleeve, so when I can get the fans involved, that's what keeps them coming back. You never know, that might be the one play they remember from the whole game. So, and especially, it creates momentum, especially when your team's rolling and you get the fans on your side, it really gets into the other team's head, so.
Did you ever have one of those encounters? coming up the ranks and meeting some of the players that you looked up to?
Yeah, for sure. It was quite surreal because obviously I looked up to a lot of guys when I was in Columbus, and Lalo Abubakar was actually one of them. He was with Columbus Crew's first team when I was in the academy, and then I feel like 6 years later, he's on the first team here, and I'm playing with him.
Wow.
So it was a pretty cool full circle moment, and obviously I looked up to a guy like Sebastian Lletget because early in his career, he was with the Galaxy and the men's national team and stuff. So to be able to share the field with him and those types of guys is really cool.
Cross falling through in front, Sarver!
A chance for North Texas. The speeding Sam Sarver strikes first.
Tries to drop it in to Ramirez, controls. Sarver! A fourth for Sam Sarver.
What's been the key just on your consistency in front of goal this season?
I'm a firm believer in manifestation. So before games, I'm scoring today. I like to picture how I'm gonna score. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way, but yeah, I think just having confidence, and I think personally gives me a boost when I know teams they're scouting so heavy on guys with goals. It almost makes them in a way play work because it's in the back of the mind we can't let this guy score tonight, but if they're so worried about one player, that's when other players get open and score. So it's not just me that's contributing to the success. It's maybe they'll double team me one night, but then that leaves Tariq open and he scores 2 goals. So it's a win-win for everyone. And I think that's the main part of the success.
Again, your humility continues to be on full display, but walk me through that visualization. You mentioned manifestation. What does that look like going into a big match?
I always walk on the field before the game. It's something I do. I pray before the game, and then I like to picture if I get a penalty, I like to picture where I'm going to place it. Funny enough, I blew a penalty over the bar the other week. I didn't manifest that, but I like to picture things like that, or maybe a 1-2 with a teammate, and what corner I put it into, just stuff like that. And I think every soccer player listening to this they know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just picture a certain goal you're gonna score, even if it doesn't happen, you picture it happening like that. And that's kind of been I think a key to success this year, you know, and then God's plan though.
I love it. And how much of who you are on the field is shaped by where you come from?
A lot. I don't really change my personality on or off the field, and I take pride in that. And I think people appreciate that. You know, there's lots of players, and I think what makes a really good team special is having different personalities of certain guys that come together. Like you always have the serious guy who's always locked in, but you know, then you have like the guy that brings the humor, then you have the guy that, you know, he'll crack a joke here and there, and then you have the guy that's, you know, mellow. And I think that really brings a good balance. And my coach actually had a funny quote in college. He was like, for like IU, like he was like, Sammy Sarver's perfect for our team, but you can only have one Sammy Sarver, because two of me is like too much, you know. But like one guy like me, I think is good. And then obviously we have characters on our team that we build off of each other, but we're all characters in our own way, you know. So that and then when you're so close with your teammates in that way, it shows on the field.
All right, so that leads me to my next question. I mean, describe your character in that sense.
I always like to have fun. I like I said, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm always, I would say I'm the class clown of the soccer team, you know. I like to bring a smile to people's faces, and I think like I take pride in like uniting people, and you know, because like with the first team, you know, I introduced them to this game. It's called What Can You Bring on a Picnic? And you have to figure out the hidden rule. And now all of a sudden you have grown men with families playing a game for 2 hours about what can they bring on this picnic, and it's so fun. And like we have guys crying of laughter because like 8 people get the rule, but like the 9th guy doesn't understand what you can or can't bring. And so we played it for like the whole trip in San Jose, and it was so fun. It's just little stuff like that where it's like everyone's a little kid at heart, you know.
Yeah.
And like if you can just bring it out of them, it just makes the team so much closer.
I was about to say, like, how valuable and important is that, just spending that extra time outside of the pitch, and how does that build the chemistry once you're on it?
It's super important, and Coach Eric stressed that in San Jose, you know. Before we played San Jose, he was like, I want you like be a team, go get dinner with. So I got dinner with some of the older guys. They invited me to dinner, you know. And then after San Jose, we had a great performance. We should have gotten 3 points, but we tied. And he was like, you know, like I saw a team tonight. And then you carry that momentum into where we just played St. Louis, and then we won that game. It's just, it's like when you become so close off the field, it really shows. Because then it's like, okay, you're not just teammates, you're friends. You know,
Right.
It's like you're brothers, and you're fighting for them. You know.
And years from now, when people look back at your career, what do you want them to say about the way you approach the game?
That's funny you asked that. I was just thinking about that the other day.
Really?
But the one thing I want people to remember me for is like, for me personally, there were like the teammates I remembered the most from college were not necessarily the best soccer players at all. Some of them actually didn't even play. Like but they were the glue guys that like no matter what, they just showed up and worked, and like, you know, they wore their heart on their sleeve. Like they didn't complain. Even if they knew like game day they were getting 0 minutes, they were still the hardest working people in training. And those were the guys I really respected the most. Like I obviously respect talent. I respect guys that are good on the ball and can score goals. But those are the guys I think it shows a lot about someone's character. So like when my career's over, you know, hopefully it's a long one, but thanks be to God. So I want people to remember like, okay, no matter if that kid had the best game of his life or the worst game of his life, he worked his tail off, and you know, like, because you know, I don't want anyone to be able to fault my effort. You can tell me I had a bad game, maybe I lost every ball I touched, but like at least I was working hard, and I want people to remember me for that.
Awesome. Well, I wish you all the best of luck and continued success on your journey.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for watching this episode of Player Profile. Be sure to tune in next time to see who I'll be speaking to next. We'll catch you guys next time. Adios.